Welcome back again. Fred here, and today again the anticipated video of where I'm gonna explain how I do my yearly reading challenge and how you can do yours as well. So without further ado, let's just immediately get into it. Last year I read 36 books. That's because I made this reading challenge for myself where I said I want to read 3 books a month or 36 a year. In this video I want to explain how you can do something for yourself as well. How can you keep yourself accountable for a reading challenge, and most of all, how are you going to enjoy your reading challenge? So the first question you might ask yourself is, well, how many books do I want to read a year if I want to join you on this reading challenge? When I did my first reading challenge, which was in I think 2018 or 19, I read 12 books. I said I want to read 1 book a month. That seemed like something that I could do next to my studies, next to everything that's going on in my life. An average book is about 200 to 300 pages. So that's actually not a lot of pages per day. If it's 300, then it's only 10 pages a day, which sounds very doable, right? So that gets me to the second point, which is if you decided on how many books you want to read, how are you going to keep yourself dedicated and accountable to the books? So for example, in the beginning, I was very strict to myself and I said, this book has to be finished by the end of the month. Because if I'm not going to finish it, I need to read more next month. And if I don't do it then, I might get, demotivated to not finish it at all because it just seems like homework and, it goes on and on and on and on. And in the end, it's just a hassle. Well, you want to prevent that. So I would say in the beginning, get a little bit strict with yourself and really tell yourself 10 pages a day. Well, okay, that means 70 pages a week. At Sunday, I need to have these 70 pages finished. Otherwise, you can, for example, make an agreement with yourself that every week that you did complete a challenge, you put a little bit of money away as pocket money that in the end you are allowed to spend that amount, for example. That's one way to do it. For me, the more I read, it just became more enjoyable. So that was the reward itself for me. But maybe in the beginning, you really want to incentivize yourself a little bit more just to get you into that momentum of reading, because in the beginning, it's quite stressful. It takes a lot of effort. You really have to remind yourself every day of, I need to read. Okay, let's get into it. Or you might even have this idea of, I don't even have any time to read and I want to do it, but it might cause frustrations, which of course you want to avoid. So giving yourself a little bit of monetary incentive, for example, or just tell yourself, hey, if I did this, I'm going to do something fun in the weekend, can also help. Stuff like that, just to make it a habit in the beginning before it is a habit. That's what I want to tell you. Then the third point is you've decided how many books you want to read, which also then in the end means you know how many pages you need to read a day or a week. The next decision, of course, is what genres do you want to read? What kind of books do you want to read? Where do I find the inspiration for books that I want to read? Well, actually, a lot of it comes from word of mouth. Like 50% for me is just when I talk to people, they tell me, hey, have you read this book? It's quite interesting. I say, I haven't, or I have. Most of the times I haven't. And I write it down. That's how I started. But then I discovered this website or app called Goodreads. It's from Amazon. And I really urge you to make an account here, or maybe they're also from other websites, accounts where you can keep track of the books that you've read, the books you want to read, and review of your friends and other people. So for example, you can even follow Bill Gates on there because he also has an account there. And he also marks what books he's going to read, what books he has read, and maybe even reviews he has written. And that way you really get to see a lot of new books. Also books from maybe people who are your inspiration. That way you get more into it, for example. I know Bill Gates always does a book review per quarter, I think, where he shows what books he has read and what he's learned from it. For me, almost all those books, I write them down because I think he makes very valid points about it. And I'm like, yeah, I also want to read this. So having an app like Goodreads can really inspire you to, first of all, find new books. Second of all, you can add books you want to read to a list so you don't lose the books that you might want to read. When I want to look for a new book, I first go through my to read list or I want to read list, and I check one off and I buy that one and I read it, which really helps for me to keep track of everything. And then at the same time, every year Goodreads is like a competition where you can see per category, so fiction, non-fiction, business, biographies, autobiographies, everything, history, you name it, it's all on there. And they show the best rated books, the most voted books and everything, and those are most of the times bestsellers and they're always interesting to read. That way you get a lot of inspiration. There's a lot of things to read, to talk about. For me, now with a few friends on Goodreads, I track them closely what they read and they track closely what I read, and it's actually quite fun because it's more engaging that way. And that's also what I want to try to build here is I don't just want to tell you to read, and I don't just want me to read either. I want to create this connection, where we can see what everyone reads, we can comment on it. It gets a little bit more of a fun engagement as well as than just reading. So that's also what I hope to achieve here. Okay, so now we've talked about what books you want to read, how you keep track of them, how you can incentivize yourself, where you can put all your books together in an online library. So yes, have everything in one place, which is super nice. But then again, most importantly, my point here is how to have fun with it. You know, in the beginning when I said I want to read 12 books, I'm not gonna lie to you. When it was June or August, in the middle of the summer, I've only read like 4 books. I just couldn't keep track of it. It was too hard. Then at some point, the momentum switched. I started to read more and more and more. And then the more I read, the more I wanted to read. It's like this weird connection where in the beginning, when you don't read, you don't want to read. But then the moment you read more, the only thing you can think about is reading more and more and more. And it's this momentum that builds up and builds up. That's what I want to tell you here. It's the same with when you go to the gym. In the first few weeks, you're not going to see progress, and it kind of demotivates you because it's really becomes a chore. You know, you have to do it, but you don't want to do it. But then once you made this progress and you build that muscle, that's the moment where it becomes fun. And every gym session is just a treat. It's the same with reading. It's the same with everything in life, where you first need to build this momentum. You need to get to this one specific level, and from there on, it becomes so much fun. And really, that's what I want to teach you here. I really encourage you right now, make an account on Goodreads or an equivalent of Goodreads. Find some books that you want to read, or go to my account. I think I'm just called Frederik Jukema. I think it's the same as my channel name. It should be the same. You can probably find me. You can see what books I've read, my reading challenge for this year, how far I am in the reading challenge. They also give you an update of if you're ahead or behind. Try to find books that you want to read. Make for yourself a challenge. Write down your weekly pages that you need to read or your daily pages. And next video, I will also give you a small on-hands example of how I manage my Goodreads, how I manage my challenge. For example, this month I'm going to read more than 3 books actually, just because I have more time, so I want to read as much as I can. I will give you a little bit of an on-hands example next video of what Goodreads is, how I manage it. I just need to figure out how to do it because I have to like record my screen instead of just doing like a vlog like this. Stay tuned for that one as well. I really hope you enjoyed it. I will be reading the comments, so please comment on it if you liked the video, if you thought it was helpful, if you are going to take on this challenge with me, and if so, please add me on Goodreads. I'll try to leave a link below in the description so you can just click on it. That's it for now. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. As always, stay positive, be happy. Fred out.